G'day everyone, hope you're well. Alright, something different and brand spanking new. It's from Roden, so don't stress out, they're not that bad. Some of them might be, but this is brand new, it's just come out. It's Convair XC-99. It's 1:144 scale. You'll see why in a minute. So the actual aircraft was based off the B-36 bomber, the Peacemaker, and I encourage you to go to, if you don't know, you've never seen it, go to Wikipedia and look up the aircraft. Not only will you get information about it, but also there's an image on there of this flying in front of a B-36, and you'll see how same dimensions almost, but the fuselage is way bigger. So by the looks of it, you'll get two marking schemes in the box. And if you didn't know, Roden, Ukrainian company. They are built a couple of their kits, and yes, they are more limited run, but it's a matter of the subject matter. Like, I don't think anyone else is ever going to make this. I was surprised when I saw this, because I remember a few years ago I was looking at images of the aircraft and I saw this one. I thought, man, I'd like someone to make a model of it, and they did. Now, is this a... does not look like it. I thought it was a static bag, but I don't think it is. Alright, pop that up there a minute. Alright, so there's some history of the aircraft in your instructions, like many do. So it actually did fly, and it was could carry 400 fully equipped soldiers, or 100,000 pound of cargo. Right, so and we're still going on there with the information. So you got your sprues, remembering it's 1:44 scale, so it's even though the fuselage and wing section's big, when it comes to wheels and that, you're talking small, but it's, again, it's well, for me anyway, it's a subject matter. And starting off with the wheels on this, and then into your propellers and spinners straight up, and your stabilizers, and you got the wings coming together there. I go that way. So wings, and you're putting landing gear in, well, they're showing you putting that on, but I'd be inclined to leave all that off towards the end of the build. Alright, then down into the fuselage. I've got that upside down, haven't I? No, they have it upside down. So you got a heap of, the windows are like portholes, which will be on clear plastic parts that plug into the along the fuselage, and then you got the cockpit ones up front. And then we have alright, wings going on, the stabilizers, fuselage together. You need 20 grams of nose weight, so it's not a tail sitter. You got the nose gear going in with the gear doors. Now, I'm sure I'm going the right way here. Right, and then we're at the back. And so that was the entirety of the build, and you've got the decal callouts. So hang on. So you got the 1700th Air Transport Group, Kelly Air Force Base, Texas, 1954-55. San Antonio Air Material Area. And bottom one is again Kelly Air Force Base, San Antonio, and it's Texas later. So it's 1956-57, so it's a couple of years after that one. So similar scheme, but the tail markings are different. Yeah, right way around. Right, so not a lot. It's all mainly your walkways, no step walkways on the wings, and that's the one with the tail markings, and you got obviously the stars and bars, and you got the Air Command symbol there. Yeah, so they look alright. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I did the Roden builds I've done, and can't remember what the decals were like. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they look alright. But I can't say how good they perform, because I do not remember. Alright, let's add it up. Alright, so obviously, like I said, we're in 1/4/4 scale, so you think it's a big, but it's tiny parts. So there's all your porthole windows, and then your windscreen. When you're talking little scale like this, I'd do a dry fit and see how they look. Like I said, Roden, more so limited run, so you got to expect a few little niggles along the way. And these tiny windows you could do with a toothpick and some crystal clear. You just come in and grab a toothpick. I need a new bottle, this is getting old. Come in, and if you do that, obviously it's going to take several hours to dry, but it'll do windows, and you can do really large areas with it as well, larger than what you probably think. And like it's advertised, it's crystal clear. But I digress. Alright, so there's no it's recessed panel lines, but you don't have rivet details. And then in this scale, I guess it's the thing of, would you actually see rivets? I guess so, but you'd have to use a very small riveting wheel if you were going to put them in. But so you got, it's about 40 centimeters long. I'll time it's together, and the nose is on. Now, what was that? So you see you got a bit of even though I said this is brand new tool, this is where the limited run comes in it. That's the window in there, so you need to get that flash out, because you can see the other side's got some flash in it too. But generally it doesn't look too bad. You might be going, what's he on about? Just, like I said, you got to remember the subject matter. This is probably niche. It's not for everyone, but I like weird stuff to start with. But I like some transport aircraft too, and that other than your Hercules and a few others, you don't really see a lot. So you sort of, if you're into that, you take what you can get. But let's just say I've seen an awful lot worse. But so they look alright, but to me, I think the what I just showed you, the crystal clear, would probably look better. That'd have to go in though. You couldn't do that whole long section with crystal clear, I don't think, but these side windows you probably could. Well, it would do that size an area. It can do if you do it right, you could probably do an area size of my nail or more. But when you do larger ones like that, you need to, when it's drying, you'll have to keep moving it, because otherwise it'll start to droop if you hold it one way. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about at the moment. Looking at the kit. Again, no riveting, so there'll be no riveting on the models. But the panel lines will look alright. Clean up there though on your sprue gate. You can see it's come into the wing, so you need to be careful cutting it off, and you have to sand back that bit. And obviously the bottom of the wings, so your sprue gates are a bit chunky, but again, is what it is. There's no one else making this kit. A bit of clean up there. It's actually off the sprue gate. Oh, come in a bit, please. Alright, so your main gear legs, the intakes on the wings, the front of the wings, the nose, nose gear well, gear doors there and there. They got rather large ejection pin marks on it, but there's no, it's flat surface, so they're easy to fill. But this would be, well, I hate to build it. I'd do it in flight, so I wouldn't even bother with the. I'd probably paint the windscreen on the inside of it all black and have the clear on the outside, so you can't see in it, and just mount it on a block of timber just to display it like it's in flight. There should be 2 of the same here, because we got 6 engines. Yeah. So like I said, we're in the tiny scale, so the propellers are still decent there. 3.5 centimeters across. The spinners are formed well. They just again, the sprue gates for the size are they're not huge, but they're fairly big, so be careful cutting them off and cleaning it up. Wheels look alright. The wheels are single moulded. It's amazing they can do it in this scale, but they won't do it in larger scales. Or am I the only one that doesn't like two halved wheels? So there's no engine detail, but someone will probably be making them on their 3D software programs and printing them up for themselves. I don't know if aftermarket companies like Eddard would be on board with something like this. It might be a bit too niche. And antenna. Is that the nose? What did I have before? I thought it was a nose. Maybe this is nose. No, that's the nose. And the stabilizers. Again, it's all recessed. Looks alright. Alright, I know not many will probably look at this, but I just thought it was worth having a look at. For the, like I said, it's a niche. It's probably more of a niche subject, because for one, it's transport, and it was a prototype and never saw active service, so it's but it's, I don't know, I think things like this shouldn't be forgotten, and it's good to see someone make a model of it. Yes, it's not for everyone, and it is limited run style, but I'm all for it anyway. It's very, very nice subject. Anyway, I'll add a few still photos now at the end of this. Thanks for watching. Alright, I'll just come back to point out what I think anyway. I can't. This is the nose gear and the nose, so this, and the gear doors for this kit. I believe this is for the B36, because Roden do make 2 or 3 boxings of the B36, so it would be, some of it would be shared sprues, I'm guessing. I can't guarantee that, but because you got guns, well, look like guns to me in this kit, and that's not part of this aircraft, so I'm going out on a limb there and saying that it's shared sprues, but because that's what do I see? Yeah, so you got the nose gear doors, I think, for the other version there, and these ones are different, and that's the different nose gears. Not much different, but it's different, so I'm guessing what that was about.